There she is! Don't let her get away!
After her!
This way! Right! She's gone. There's no way!
She's gotta be nearby! Find her!
Get back!
Wait! Hey, I'm sorry. I'm not trying to hurt you, okay? You're the daughter of a lord, aren't you? You can relax. We'd heard people were after you. The blazing sword of Dana?
Is there any way we can help you?
Why?
What do you mean? You're being chased, aren't you?
I'm fine. Don't worry.
Okay, but it's dangerous to be out here all alone. Won't you at least come with us to Niez?
That's where I got kicked out of. Bayfon should be in Niez, right?
I want to know what's going on. If you come with us, I'm sure we can get this straightened out.
If we go our separate ways, we won't cause each other any problems.
Problems? What kind of problems?
Why?
We just want to help. Isn't that enough?
We help people. It's who we are. You may think we're weird, but it's true. I'm Shion. This is Alphen. Nazamil. Nazamil. Is that your name?
Hey!
We're going to Niez, aren't we?
Right. Nice to meet you, Nazamil.
Alphen! Shion!
Shion!
Yo!
It's been so long!
It has. You're both looking well.
Never been better. Well, just talking about us, though.
There's apparently some trouble in town.
Kisara, Dohalim. The gang's all here.
So, what's this trouble you mentioned?
Renans have returned to the city, living alongside the Danans here.
There were a lot of vacant houses after the mess with Almadria, right? Some refugees from Lenegus have taken up residence in them.
Bayfon decided to take them in, but not everyone has been so welcoming.
That's putting it lightly. The situation's a bit of a powder keg. The smallest spark could set it off.
So Renans do live here. If that's the case, then why...
Oh, who's that?
This? This is Nazamil.
I'm Rinwell, and this here is Hootle. Nice to meet ya. Woo!
Some Danans from around here are after her. Because her father is a lord.
A lord?
I see. So she draws more attention than your average Renan, then.
We've brought her along so we can at least figure out what's going on. Plus, there's the mausoleum issue. Let's go see Bayfon.
You see, we were actually just there, but he's out and we couldn't meet with him.
Then, for now, how about we take Nazamil to the area where the Renans live?
Huh, not a bad idea. You okay with that, Nazamil?
It's good to see you guys, but with the city being so on edge, it's hard to relax.
The Renans and Danans here don't trust each other. This place is a far cry from Vicent.
What about Pelagian? You took in most of the refugees from Lenegis, didn't you?
I've settled them on different levels of the city, so contact between the two cultures is minimal.
Better to gather all the Renans in one place to avoid unnecessary conflicts, huh?
And with the Lord guy here in charge, no one can do anything too crazy.
Come on. He's carrying out his duties as the Renan representative.
But if that's true, are you sure it's okay to leave the city?
Fortunately, I have people there I can rely on. Leaving for a short while shouldn't be a problem.
And Kisara, you're the captain of those new troops in Vicent, right?
That's right, the Service Corps. We're made up of former members of the Guard and armored soldiers. We serve as the people's shield in the new era. I'm not used to teaching so many new recruits, but I'm managing somehow.
Rinwell, you're in Vicent too, aren't you? Is your nose still stuck in a book all the time?
Yep. There are too many books to read, so I always end up cooped up at home.
Hey, you go out sometimes, like when you're investigating the ruins.
You seem to know a lot about it.
Oh, not really. It's just that sometimes I guard caravans as part of the Crimson Crows, you know? So whenever I stop by Vicent, I pop in to help with stuff. Anyway, what have you been up to, Alphen?
Are you and Xion still traveling around as usual?
Yeah, I don't feel ready to settle down in one place just yet. Xion?
Sorry. It's been a while, but it doesn't feel like anyone's changed, you know?
You're right. It really feels like the old days.
I know we've got a lot of catching up to do, but Nazamil must be getting bored by now.
Oh, you're right. Sorry, Nazamil.
I don't mind.
Nazamil? What are you doing back here?
Away with you! You don't belong here. How many times do we have to say it?
How could you say such a thing? She's a Renan just like you, and a child at that.
If it isn't the blazing sword, the very person who destroyed our society, you're one to talk.
You Renans value lineage and social standing, don't you? Nazamil is the daughter of a lord.
Her father was a lord, yes. He was the esteemed Lord Urwagil Hildress, the former Water Lord.
Urwagil, the lord who preceded Volron.
But that girl's mother is just some embedded nobody!
Her mother is a Danan?
The blood of a glorious lord mixed with that of a lowly slave. It's repugnant.
That girl is no Renan. Every one of us here agrees on that.
Hey! Bastards just spewed their hatred and left.
A child with both Danan and Renan blood. Is that even possible?
In the old world, I'd heard rumors that it happened on rare occasions. but not of any children that reached her age.
You knew this would happen, didn't you? Why didn't you say something, even though you knew it would be painful?
It was too much to explain, and I'm in no pain.
But it's wrong to judge someone because of how they were born.
Let's go back to look for Bayfon. It's better than staying here. Bayfon!
Wow, look who it is. It's been a while, hasn't it? Huh? Nazamil. Ah, thank goodness you're safe. So, some of the refugees we took in from Lenegus knew of Nazamil's identity, huh? The situation in Niez is delicate, to say the least. So I thought it would be better if I sent her to Vicente.
I guess some unhappy residents went after her before she could make it there.
Yeah, that's why I went looking for her as soon as I found out. It's fortunate that you found her first. I would just send her off on her way, but she may be attacked again.
Yes, that is true. However, it would be just as dangerous for her to stay here, too.
Well, okay then. Why don't we escort her to Vicente ourselves?
What about while we're at the mausoleum? Things being as they are, she can't just wait around here.
Or we could take her with us to the mausoleum. It's dangerous to send her off, and it's dangerous for her to stay. She'll be safest with us there to protect her.
I'm fine with protecting her, but doesn't the mausoleum have its own dangers?
You're right, that is a concern. However, with all of us there, I think we'll be okay.
Sounds good to me. After all, it's better to stick together than split up.
We can head back to Vicente after we finished at the mausoleum. Is that okay with you, Nazamil?
Sure.
Just where is the mausoleum anyway?
In the ruins at Adon Lake. It's pretty deep in, so you'll need to be cautious.
The mausoleum is just up ahead, huh?
Careful. There might be Zoogles around, so... what?
Oh, that wasn't you? Then...
Are you hungry?
No, that wasn't...
It's perfectly normal for your stomach to growl when you're hungry. It's nothing to be ashamed or embarrassed about.
As long as it's not you, I guess.
What was that?
Nothing. It's not a good idea to take on a mausoleum on an empty stomach. Why don't we eat first?
Great idea, Alphen.
Oh, it's been a while since I last had Kisara's cooking.
we're not putting it all on Kisara. We're going to cook together.
Really, I'm not...
It seems everyone's in the mood to cook. If it's not too much trouble, we'd love for you to join us.
I had an idea for something we could make with what we have on hand, but it looks like I'm still short on a few ingredients. Luckily, I think we can find them around here.
No problem. Let's start looking.
Well, that's strange. I wasn't expecting us to find a teleporter while looking for ingredients.
I wonder where it leads.
Regrettably, it looks like this one's target coordinates were never set. Until someone enters a destination, it's useless.
It's weird to find a teleporter out on its own like this.
Nazamil, everything okay? What is that? Some kind of decoration?
Looks like a Danin relic. This is a land full of ruins, so it's not at all unusual.
That looks familiar for some reason. I'm sure I've seen it before. That's right! It's a good luck charm! I saw an illustration in an old book once.
Does it have some kind of special power?
Nah, nothing like that. This is the sort of thing you give to your family, or someone special, so you can feel connected with them, no matter how far apart you may be.
I guess the way people express their feelings is the same now as it was back then.
I don't need it. I don't have anyone like that.
Well, in that case, can I hold on to it then?
Sure, I don't care.
Okay. Why don't we head for the campsite and start cooking?
I'm stuffed. It's nice eating with everyone like this, don't you think?
Indeed. It feels so liberating to relax under this beautiful sky. Moments like these are priceless.
Especially given how much you've been cooped up in your office lately. You've earned a break.
Hey, you okay? You don't look too good. Are you feeling sick?
I'm fine. It's just that it's a little uncomfortable. I've almost never eaten with others.
Oh, because both Danins and Renins... Well, what about your family?
I don't know anything about my mother. I've never met her.
What about your father?
My father would only visit when he needed me for something. And when he did, he would yell and beat me. The other members of my house did the same.
What?
So no, we didn't share meals.
Well then, I guess that makes us the first.
Huh?
Let me tell you a secret. You see, when you eat with people you're close to, it always makes food taste that much better.
Why is that?
That's a good question.
I suppose it's because when we share the same food, we're also sharing the joy of it.
Not only that, conversations are more lively when you're eating good food, too.
Food tastes better when it's shared.
There's more to a meal than simply filling your stomach. And knowing that is part of what motivates people to cook a good meal.
The food was really good.
Let's eat together again, okay?
You know, there's something about Nazamil that reminds me of Dohalim. She's...
Elegant.
Yes, exactly!
My family was strict about manners.
No surprise there. Your father being a lord. Law, you can be so insensitive sometimes.
I don't mind. My house is gone now anyway.
That was back on Lenegus, right? When did you come down to Dana?
When my father joined the crown contest as a lord, we came down together.
Oh yeah, Ganeth Harrows, right? But didn't Voron...
Why are you asking anyway?
Why? The more we know about each other, the quicker we can become friends, right?
Is that how all of you became friends?
I suppose so. Getting to know each other is an important step in learning to understand one another. It can be difficult to trust a stranger, but once you understand them better, you can move toward becoming friends. Still, why don't we change the topic to something more cheerful?
I don't know any cheerful topics. Can I ask you something?
Of course. Ask us anything.
What I am. It doesn't bother you at all?
What, the thing about your parents? I mean, sure, it was a little surprising, but we're not really ones to talk when it comes to being unusual.
He's right. We are a rather strange group, all things told.
Exactly. For example, I'm Danin. But I'm also part of a mage clan that can use astral arts.
Dohalim here is a Renin lord who prefers poetry over power.
So, is that why you're with the Blazing Sword? With Alphen? Because you're different from others?
I suppose I appreciate how he embraces our eclectic natures, but that is not the only reason. We all have our differences, big or small. The question is, how we look at those differences.
What about Alphen and Shion?
In terms of different, those two are in a class all of their own. They're especially unique. But in the end, we see each other as fellow human beings, and when it comes down to it, all our differences are insignificant compared to that.
In other words, the way we see it, You're really not that different from the rest of us, Nazamil. So, I'm sure we can be friends.
Friends? Yeah.
Here it is. Dayfon was right.
This is a mausoleum?
Yeah, that's what we call them. They were originally built on Rena.
And now they're here, since Dana and Rena fused together a year ago. Most of them are underground, but sometimes you can find one above the surface, like this.
We got back together so we could deal with them.
We don't know what kind of machines or Zeugles might be inside. Make sure you stay close to us.
Okay, got it.
Walking together like this, it's like we're back in the old days.
The old days? It's only been a year.
But after the battle with the Great Spirit, so many things have happened. A lot has changed.
Great Spirit. Is it true it's the collective will that manifests from all the astral energy within a world?
Yes. Rena's Great Spirit manifested a will of its own and engineered the conflict between Dana and Rena. Together, we fought it 1 year ago.
In the end, Alphen's power defeated the Great Spirit, allowing its astral energy to finally become one with Dana's. And now, with the Great Spirit no longer influencing the Renan people, our two cultures finally have a chance to unite as well.
So all of that is something that the Blazing Sword... that Alphen did? He's the reason the world is the way it is now?
I mean, he's the one who did it, but it's more like it's this way because it was always supposed to be. The problem is, instead of seeing this as a new world, both Danans and Renans think that Dana just absorbed Rena into itself.
I mean, that is what it looks like, so I get the confusion. Rena disappears, then there's all these Renan buildings popping up everywhere. The hollowing, and that sky.
It's a difficult situation. The Renans lost their home when Lenegus collapsed, and the Danans feel like they're being invaded by all the resulting refugees. Most Renans are currently living in Pelagian, but there are some who have traveled outside Ganath Haros to settle in other regions and Danan cities. In some cases, like in Niez, accepting them in has resulted in tensions. And then the mausoleums are a problem as well.
Guess the only thing that hasn't changed is the wandering Zeugles.
Even Zeugles aren't the same. They're more violent than before, probably due to the merging of the worlds.
As you can see, we still have a lot of issues to deal with, but we're trying to solve them as best we can.
I see.
You know, Nazamil sure is fearless.
Now that you mention it, she is, isn't she? Maybe she's stronger than she looks.
Can I ask you something?
You don't have to ask that every time. What is it?
What kind of place is this mausoleum?
Well, it seems like it was originally supposed to help delay the collapse of Rena by controlling astral energy. But it's still operating, and that's not good.
Astral energy in this world is now composed of 6 elements, after Rena and Dana became one.
Just like it was supposed to be from the very beginning.
But before they merged, Dana had only 5 elements. Currently, the balance of energy is still shifting to achieve equilibrium. We believe these mausoleums are interfering with the flow of astral energy, preventing that balance. So we decided it's better to disable them.
So having 6 elements is normal?
Right. But something went wrong a long time ago, and they were divided. Rena got all the dark astral energy, and Dana got the light.
When I was small, my father told me that I have all 6 elements, so it was my duty to master them.
Undoubtedly, it's due to you having both Renan and Danan blood. In a way, you're a herald of a new era. Is something wrong?
No. For a moment I was just worried you were going to say something like, "What a fascinating specimen." Sorry.
Ah. And here I thought I was getting better at reading the room.
Anyway, this new world of ours needs all 6 elements in proper balance. So we're shutting down the mausoleums to help that happen.
So 6 elements are part of a new era. I never thought of it like that before. What a strange place. It's unlike any Renan or Danon structures I've seen before. Are they all like this?
We've seen a few of them, and I'd say they're mostly like this, yes.
Do you know a lot about architecture, Nazamil?
No. Was that an odd thing to ask?
Not at all. It just means you're perceptive.
You're alert and paying attention to your surroundings. That's a good thing.
Yeah, and being curious is how you learn things. Speaking of which, I'm very curious about you.
Because I'm different?
Because you're interesting. And I want to get to know you, Nazamil.
You... do?
We all do. Personally, I look forward to hearing more of what you have to say.
I'll try to think of something.
As usual, it's full of machines that do who knows what.
They're productions of foreign technology, every one of them. Trying to divine their purpose would be a fool's errand.
I'd recommend against touching them, Nazamil. Nazamil?
A crest?
Nazamil, is that?
No, it's not what you think.
She vanished! Nazamil! Wait! Nazamil!
Helganquil.
It's all right. They haven't woken. These are the Helganquil, the true people of Rena. They're sometimes discovered like this. I suppose that's why these places are called mausoleums.
Why did you run off? It's dangerous to be in here all by yourself.
Careful! Something's coming! It stopped. I think that should be the last of them.
Nazamil. Please don't run off again. That crest earlier. Was that?
Was that why you ran? Because you were afraid?
I hate this. I hate everything about it. Because I'm not a Renan. I'm not a Danon. Everyone has always said that I'm not normal. And now I've been taken to this weird place. And my body's become even more unnatural. Next you'll all probably toss me aside. I know that everyone hates me. People always have. Even my own father hates me. Everyone! I'm different from everyone! I just don't fit in anywhere!
Nazamil!
But that's
A power I didn't ask for. One that was forced upon me. I've lost so much because of it. Just like you. But even so, I have friends who accept me. And one thing I'm certain of, they'll accept you too. If you want them to.
But
You are an aberration. As you are now, you're a worthless child. If you don't like it, try being of use for once.
Let's go back. Nazamil.
I told you, didn't I? When it comes to this group, we're all just a bunch of oddballs.
There. That should do it.
What did you do? We disabled the main function so no one else can enter. We wouldn't want any miscreants getting in and causing mischief.
what about the Helganquil?
They will continue to sleep safely. We only disable the functions of the mausoleum itself.
Do you guys always do stuff like this?
When we find mausoleums, yeah.
There should be a facility somewhere that oversees all the mausoleums, though.
Until we can locate it, this is what we have to do.
Xion and I are capable of sealing the mausoleums. The problem is, they tend to be nothing but Zeugles inside and out.
Besides, considering the current state of the world, it's too soon to get other people involved, or to let word of the mausoleum spread too far.
That's why every time a mausoleum is found, we all gather and take care of it on our own.
Yup. And I'll take any excuse to get everyone back together again.
I see.
We're all done here, so let's head back to Niez and report to Bayfon.
By the way, Alfin, what happened to your Sovereign outfit? That's some high-class gear, isn't it?
It's at docks with Xion's outfit. It, stands out too much.
I admit, I fail to see how your current attire does so any less. Is it difficult to be seen as a hero?
I don't like being called the Blazing Sword.
Really?
Yeah. Danins and Renans make all kinds of assumptions just from that name. It doesn't feel good to be judged by people I've never even met.
Yeah.
Although I do admit it's a contradiction for me to say that while carrying around the very sword that gave me that name.
Perhaps. However, we need the sword to accomplish our current task. That's why you restored it with the Sovereign's powers, correct?
You're right. It was necessary.
Kisara, you're in charge of dinner tonight, right? Have you decided what we're having?
Not yet. I have plenty of ingredients, but nothing jumps out at me as a good main. Oh. Do you have any requests, Nazamil?
Request?
Yes. What would you like? I can make just about anything.
I'm just happy to be able to eat.
Right, I remember you saying something like that. I guess you've never been in a position to be picky.
Is it normal for people to have certain foods that they like?
Well, I don't know about whether it's normal or not, but personally, I love anything sweet. Lately, I'm really into Gladys's donuts.
What have I liked lately? Oh, the fish crackers I received from the Service Corps were delicious.
It's been a while now, but I remember we made pancakes together once. I still make them for myself sometimes.
Oh. What is it? Do pancakes sound good?
No, it's not that. I just remembered something. That meal from before, the one I had with all of you, that was the best meal I've ever had.
Oh yeah! That was good, wasn't it?
It really was. But you know, Nazamil, any kind of food tastes good if you make it and eat it with the people you're close to.
Anything? Really?
Sure. In fact, why don't we put that to the test? How about we all cook together today?
That sounds like a great idea! We can cook together and eat together! Your list of foods you like is gonna grow way longer, Nazamil!
Yeah, that would be nice.
Nazamil, there's something I need to apologize for.
Apologize to me? Why?
It's probably my fault that you were a test subject at Lenegis.
Alphen, wait a second.
What do you mean?
The ones who experimented on the two of you did so for their own purposes.
Dohalim.
I understand how you feel, but there's no need to phrase things in such a misleading manner.
Can you please explain? I want to know.
It all started a long time ago, because Rena's great spirit wanted to absorb Dana's astral energy. Lenegis was created for that purpose, and the Sovereign was one of its parts.
Alphen escaped, but the Great Spirit needed a replacement to achieve its plan.
So they took me?
Yes. A lot of people were experimented on, and you were one of them.
Your crest was incomplete. Perhaps your modifications were not completely finished.
Because of Volron. Because he was completed first.
1 year ago, we may have met Nazamil in a different manner. I don't know why they let you go, but we can thank that for allowing us to encounter one another.
And you, Shion?
Mine was inherited. It was one of my ancestors who underwent modification.
So in a way, you being taken was a result of my actions. I'm sorry, Nazamil.
It's okay. You don't have to be. You didn't wish for it. And I'm no different from you. Besides, I didn't lose anything by being a test subject. And more than that, it makes me happy to know that there are other people like me.
Nazamil.
Looks like you took care of everything. As impressive as ever.
Any updates on the situation in town?
Yeah, but nothing good. There's no end to the people looking to stir up trouble here. Both Danans and Renans alike. Yeah, to be honest, sometimes I wonder if taking in those Renan refugees was the right... No, I can't go thinking like that.
Regardless of the difficulties, I want to believe that your decision to not turn the Renans away was the correct one.
I want to as well. But at any rate, Nazamil shouldn't stay here. It isn't safe for her. Not that it's her fault, but... Sorry, Nazamil.
It's fine, don't worry.
Thanks, Bayfon. All right, everyone. Let's head to Vicent.